Our number. Now, interesting guests we have on the line. RJ, hopefully I'm saying your last name right. Bianculli?
Yeah, Bianculli, yeah.
Bianculli, okay, very good. From Emerald Brand. I'll tell you, I've been reading a little bit about this. How come we don't know more about you guys? You're not chopping down trees and you're making paper. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we fly below the radar. But
you would think that you guys would be all over the place. I'm just learning about you today. I think it's wonderful. Just explain to us how you do this, because if you can, you guys are the future.
Yeah, absolutely. No question we're the future. We make Emerald Brand. My father started the company all the way back in 1996 before anybody knew what the heck sustainability was. And we make over 225 products made from what we call rapidly renewable resources and agricultural byproducts. So, for example, we make toilet tissue, napkins, plates, bowls, cups out of sugarcane byproduct or sugarcane waste, as opposed to from virgin or even recycled paper.
Now, that's, again, fascinating, because people say, well, save the paper, don't cut down a tree. But you guys are going to be able to make this stuff. Now, how does that process work? Because, again, I'm really enamored by it. I have to tell you that, RJ.
So the process, and I'll try to give a quick enough synopsis. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking the byproducts that agricultural-based farmers are left with. So whether it's sugarcane, wheat, not a lot of folks know this, but when that a particular crop is extracted, you're left with a stalky type of fibrous byproduct. And we actually buy that from the farmers and pulp it and turn it into different types of disposable products. So what that does is it gives the farmer an added source of revenue. Typically, they're burning these waste product or byproduct materials, which is very harmful to the environment, and it's very harmful to the surrounding communities. We're able to eliminate that process. And to boot, we're not using trees or fossil fuel-based plastics in our finished goods.
Amazing. Now, you said your dad started this concept?
He did, yep.
What was what kind of background would you have to, who would think of this? That here farmers are burning over waste and they think this is such a mess, and now you folks are sitting there and ostensibly you're probably paying them for something that they would normally throw out.
Yeah. Well, what happened was my father was in the paper industry, and he sold his business in the mid-'90s to one of the largest paper and plastic manufacturers in the world. And right around that time, my brother was born. And to make a long story short, he received the hepatitis B vaccination at 2 months old. The next day started having these awful seizures. He was having, at one point, 300 a day. We found out he got thimerosal poisoning or mercury poisoning from the vaccination. He has 10 times the amount of mercury in his brain that the average adult should have. And my parents became sort of obsessed with this whole health and environmental wellness scenario, and it spilled over into my father's career.
Wow, amazing. I'm going to ask you this question sensitively. Did your brother turn out okay? Everything all right?
He's okay. He's 22 now, but severely handicapped. Can't walk, talk. Needs 24/7 care. But, he is the inspiration for what my sister Jacqueline and I do every day.
When you think about how important this is, not only from the fact that we're saving the environment, but in essence, saving lives. If you think about the way this is done. Now, what happens to maybe a question that you can't answer, because I'm actually new to this science. Recycled glass. Most of the towns here on Long Island, we have like recycle bins, and we recycle plastics and glass and so on. Is that part of the stream that you use in terms of putting stuff together, or pretty much it's just all natural stuff?
Well, some of our products are still made from recycled content, a small percentage. What we're really moving into is the renewables for two reasons, well, three really. One, we believe composting is the absolute future. There's no question about it. If you look at the recycling stream, at the end of the day, a very small percentage of what actually is being put in the recycling bins are actually truly being recycled. Within, somewhere between, depending on the types of products, anywhere between 10 and 25% are really getting to where they need to go. The bottom line is those products are originally made from and stem from either fossil fuel-based plastics, foam, polystyrene, polypropylene, or paper. We're trying to eliminate that in whole and deliver a program that what we call is full circle, sustainable from farm to tissue, all the way to the composting facility.
Now, are some of your products actually sold in the open stores, or you get them through the internet? Or I'm just interested in that to see how this is marketed. to
Great
people?
question. Great question. And we're actually a bigger company than you may think, only because you don't see our products in the stores.
Correct. Yeah, I don't. I would buy them. I'm telling you right now, RJ. I'd buy your products. I would buy you a bathroom tissue. Obviously, it's you're not cutting down trees.
You should go on Amazon.com, Jet.com. We sell on both those sites. We do a tremendous amount of business there. And we're also in about 650 retail stores regionally here in the Northeast. But the majority of our business is actually purchased by major corporations. We do business with a great deal of Fortune 100 companies, major universities. We're in arenas in New York here. All of our products, not just one or two. And then we're in some of the major banks, major advertising firms. We have some really, really, really big names on our list of clients.
How many companies in this country do this type of work?
In our particular category,
Yes.
not a lot. We're one of the very few, and certainly like to think ourselves as one of the leaders. But you'd be surprised, this country, and I'm a young fella, but throughout my career, I've been able to see over the last 10 years, we've lost a lot of our edge on innovation, a lot of our edge on manufacturing, which is one of the things we're trying to bring back to this country.
Yeah.
And so not a lot.
Hopefully the folks out there grasp me this whole thing, because I'm still having trouble doing it. You're pretty much using natural type of resources that are renewable, in terms of like farm products that normally would be destroyed, and producing viable goods. Is that a better way? Is that a lay way to say it? In other words, for people who really don't understand what you do?
That's a lay way to say it. We're taking one man's garbage is another man's gold, in a sense, so we don't call our materials garbage, but that's what really it is, yeah.
And again, all we talk about really in this country is certainly the environmental, the Paris agreements, where countries getting together to reduce carbon emissions, and all of this, and yet you read about the solar power and the wind power and all of that, but you don't hear too much about this, and I think this could be a vital component as we move on in the 21st century. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
No two ways about it. If you look at just paper cups alone, we cut down every year in this world 6.5 million trees just to make paper cups. And guess what? North America consumes the vast majority of those paper cups. Over 60% is consumed in North America. So that just gives you an idea right there, as if we eliminated those trees and used the materials we're using, what kind of impact we can have.
Wow, 6.5 million trees. I mean, that's an astonishing figure. Where are you based out of?
We're based out of Syosset, Long Island.
Again, I'm amazed that this hasn't come across my desk sooner. I mean, this type of innovation, and the fact that it's Long Island technology. If you think about it, that's being put forward. How would folks learn more about you guys? What would they need to do?
Check out our website. It's really simple, emeraldsbrand.com. We have a wealth of information on there. You can learn a little bit about the history and our mission of what we're doing and trying to accomplish. And I think you'll be very, very impressed by what we're doing and how we've grown our business so significantly, really over the last 5 years, to become a truly international company where we have distribution centers now located all across the United States, and we're exporting product even down to the Caribbean, the UK, and Europe. So we have we are the future. I know we are. So I'm confident in saying that.
Yeah, it sounds great. Any cooperation with local government? It's always the government that's talking about this stuff, but of course then they don't have any resources or even knowledge or intellect. And I keep going on about to do something like this. Do you get any sort of inquiries from the state of New York, from the federal government, from even the local government there over there in Syosset?
I'm a pretty blunt guy, and
be blunt.
All talk and no action, and they passed a few laws that have sort of helped move this, move the dial on this movement. But the bottom line is they can and should be doing a lot more, and we hope that they will, and I think it will happen eventually. But you know what? Private sector's got to drive this change. They have to, and if you make it easy to do the right thing, a lot of these major companies, and even on the individual basis as a consumer, when they're educated, and we always say our mission is not to sell, just to educate, and people will join our mission when they hear our story. So we hope the government will do more. I don't think they're doing enough with any sort of sense of urgency.
You've been in business since the late 90s.
Yeah.
I think it's about time, don't you think, RJ, that we get on the board with something like this?
I'm waiting.
Okay. RJ Bianculli, right? I said it right. Emerald Brand. Really, folks, look up their website. It's fascinating. I did it for the first time today, I must admit, and just a fascinating science. And really, anything that saves trees and anything else that we could save is a step in the right direction. RJ, keep up the great work.
Thank you. Appreciate it, and thanks for the time.